Welcome then to the first ever edition of the Iron Hour podcast exclusively on the IronArmy YouTube channel. I'm Andy Barra. You might know me as Barra. I'm a professional MC and also commentator. I go up and down the country working on various combat sports events. Of course, a lifelong Scunthorpe fan. I'm joined by my panel of, I'm going to call you colleagues at this time. First off, we've got Max Bell. Max Bell is a commentator on BBC Radio Humberside on occasion, journalist, and of course, well, I don't know if you've ever mentioned it, Max, but you are actually a published author as well. Did you ever get that one in there?
I should have brought the book. I could have had it like here, but I didn't think.
I tell you what, we've had quite a lot of requests actually to mute your microphone, but I don't know where that's coming from.
I'm all for it. Has my mother been getting in touch?
And to my left, we've got Gareth Holden. Most of you guys will no doubt know him as IronArmy, and absolutely infamous now with Scunthorpe United. You vlogged out the match day experience, and you know it's got quite far now, hasn't it? It's round the globe. You're international, Gareth.
International, I don't talk about that.
International superstar. So for those listening, what's happened there is our Lincolnshire flag has fallen, but you know what? We roll with the punches, guys. We crack on. Yeah. So I've just thought.
No, we can't do it with it there like that.
I will pull it down.
Not part of the process.
So, all we need now to complete the metaphor is for a big car crash just outside Sainsbury's.
I mean, that was seamless, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I noticed that was my best performance so far, so we carry on.
Yeah.
So, just talking to you guys about Gareth Holden, IronArmy, and as we were saying, you know, it's really grown, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And
I'm growing.
And hey up, keep it clean, Gareth. Come on, let's try and keep it. You know,
are we not putting the flag back up?
We don't want to be bloody do it now. So we've got Max Bell, published author. We've got Gareth Holden, IronArmy, and in the corner there we've got Marco.
Yeah.
Marco Paliga. I don't know what you're doing here, Marco.
It's got a bit in as soon as the flags fell down.
Yeah.
The next failure. But yeah, I just feel like I'm that guy who, you know, when you watch a match a day, you're like, oh, it's going to be good, this interview. He's got no idea what to say after the game. That's me. We're just hoping I say something absolutely outrageous, but I'm going to be on my best behaviour.
You know how when they do it and they when they're doing the TV and they really praise like Thierry Henry, and then they really praise the other partners, and then there's just Micah Richards at the end.
That is literally me. I'll be the happy clapper.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you're Italian as well, so you tick our diversity quota, so even better.
I'll stay quiet.
Yeah, I think that's best, Marco. Right, I think no better place to start then. We'll just jump in with the game on Saturday. I mean, we want to be a positive podcast, so I think we'll probably stay off the football as much as we can. It wasn't the best game, was it? Obviously, I wasn't there. I was working at boxing shorts in Bournemouth. Just got to get that in, just so everyone does know. But I think all three of you guys went, so yeah. I think, should we talk about the football? Should we talk about the match day?
Yeah, do we have to?
I think we have to.
Probably needs mentioning.
I tell you what I really want to know, before I find out about the game, what I really want to know is what actually happened in Hooters, Marco.
I feel like I'm not discussed to say. To be fair, but you were right. It was a great one. It was good. Brilliant atmosphere. It's my first time in Hooters.
And mine.
It's funny that, because I'm sure I've seen loads of videos of you in Hooters, Gareth.
Yeah,
Were you a Hooters girl at one point?
my permission slip was signed, so I got we go clear for Hooters. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The wings were hot.
I don't know, Dylan that boneless.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Which Dylan though? Because if it was the other Dylan, I've heard some stories that those wings might have come up once or twice.
I was disappointed you went for the chicken wings rather than the chicken breast.
Yeah. Let's leave it out. You're meant to be the PC one.
Just in case anybody from my work or anything associated to that is watching or listening, I was not in Hooters. I went to the Notts County game with my family, so I didn't go with Marco and Gareth and Co.
Is it not a family pub?
I saw kids.
I'll tell you what, there's the headline of the podcast.
Well, I mean, the overall event of who it was great until towards the end. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was many drinks, good vibes, and we're not trouble or anything like that.
No.
Home fans and away fans makes it great.
Yeah. Okay. And I've got a question, and depending on, we may wish to edit this out. Was it in Hooters or outside Hooters when an unnamed Scunthorpe United supporter, because I don't want to get in the sack, I believe did get his third leg out and showed it?
Oh, that wasn't in
I don't think that one made the final cut, did it?
No, and it also wasn't a leg.
Yeah, I'll be honest, if I was rocking that, I don't think I'd be proud of it. I'd be covering it up.
Was it more of a cocktail sausage?
Well, half of that word's right. And it's not tail.
Overall, it was great. I wouldn't be in a rush to go back. Service was great. But yeah, it was great.
Well, it really looked to me, I mean, first thing I did Sunday morning was watch the vlog. It looked to me that fans just had an unbelievable day. Gareth, what was it like?
It was good, you know. And like I said on the vlog, it was just let down by the football today. As always, you know, you get a big crowd going. Everyone was in good spirits, and enjoyed the day.
When you say good spirits, I've seen that video of what's his name? Is it Dylan?
Dylan.
No, not your son, I have to say. And oh god, we're gonna have to put this video out on the socials afterwards. So there's this video. You're in the concourse, and the Scunny fans are singing, you know, our version of LA. And he's on the bin, isn't he?
Yeah.
Give me the I would say at this point he's had a few beers. He's had a fair few beers.
More than.
I mean, the drumming's a little bit sporadic and erratic, I've got to say. And this video's great. Fella comes over to help him out, get a bit of rhythm. Dylan, drunk, get away! I've got this covered, leave me to it.
Ruining my vibe. Yeah. What's more funny is I think the guy coming over to the bin is actually a guy who is the drummer. It's like, honestly mate, I've got this. And he really didn't. I mean,
he's just there going, on Tuesday, Dylan, do you want me to bring the drum? No, don't worry about that, we've got Bin Boy.
So there was a brilliant postscript to this. So I and a friend went out for lunch in Scunny on the High Street, and then on Sunday, and we were driving from Ashby into town, and let's call him drunk Dylan in question. Let's walk past us going the other way at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the Sunday. And look, I'm sure he hadn't. But based on that video, I'd like to think that he'd been in light until 6 o'clock in the morning, then gone to sleep and gone, right, it's time to go home. Dylan, honestly, if you're watching or listening to this, mate, legendary. And honestly, your drumming was better than our defending. So I want you to treasure that.
But and you know, let's get on to the football. I think we have to talk about it. Come to you first, Gareth. So the game kicks off. I mean, we're in it for what, 6-7 minutes before it starts going beat on. What was? Go on, I'll let you take over.
In the first minute, they had a chance. Yeah. It was just like, you know, but yeah, they just applied the pressure. There's so much space in the wings. It was just.
I think what surprised me the most, right, was, and I don't know if it is naivety, but I know they're second in the league and we are third from bottom. I know that. I really thought they had a chance of going and getting a point. I don't know why, but I wasn't the only one. I think
I was thinking 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I genuinely thought we could turn up and get something.
After the performance against Wilson, just the pressing of the ball, just the closing down the space, and then it was just like polar opposites.
Yeah.
You know?
Going into the game, it felt like, I know the second in the league, but it felt like County were probably a team in free fall. You know, things were going wrong for them off the pitch, weren't they? There was injuries left, right and centre. And I just thought, there was a couple of international call-ups as well.
Yeah.
I thought, do you know, I feel like, maybe I shouldn't have said free fall.
I think, how many points are they on? Is it 94?
Well, I just said that one.
I do know a team in free fall. Which is the whole reason we're doing this podcast.
No, that's true. So, I mean,
for me, I mean, it was. I mean, it's lucky it was a good day out. I was very confident we would get beat, and I think I said in the vlog, I said 5-0, and I was pleasantly surprised it was only 4. But I mean, if they wanted to, it could have easily been 10. For some reason, our left back and right back, and I mean, I'm still undecided on Leek after what he did the other day against Wilston. It's like, hang on, is this guy a really good player? Or, from what I've seen before, it's like, God, he doesn't offer anything going forward at all. But you can tell there's definitely some rawness in there. Yeah. And I think he could be great. And he's never done anything wrong defensively yet. But they were both like, Leek was playing as it's almost like a centre half.
Yeah.
We were so narrow. And I mean, I really, really like Chickson. Their full back, he's a crack. He's on 10 goals. He plays left back. Do you know what I mean? He'd be our top scorer.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? He's unbelievable. And we're like, let's let him have all the space and time in the world.
We did look very narrow, Max.
Yeah.
When I've seen, obviously, I watched a lot of fan footage, you know, on your vlog and some others, and obviously the official highlights. And a lot of the goals, we seem to be really compact. Now, again, I don't know if were we playing with a 4 or a 3 at the time?
So they were very narrow, and that's probably why I'm inclined to defend both Leek and Oigel, because that wasn't a fluke. It was clearly a deliberate tactical.
Oh, you can see that.
Yeah.
And
you saw the starting lineup and thought, right, that screams 4-5-1. So you were expecting, when you've got 5 midfielders theoretically, you would expect some width across the face. And look, their right winger in particular did have Leek on toast. Yeah. But you know, I lost count of the number of times when it was 2-on-1, 3-on-1. You know, you don't defend in isolation. You defend as a unit, and I think that's where I was particularly disappointed, because we just didn't. You know, the Notts County players were able to bring the ball, you know, 10, 15 yards into our half completely unmolested, and then they showed their quality.
I tell you what, that is an interesting way of putting it.
And that's 2.
Yeah, that's the second yellow. The first one's a warning, the second one's a yellow. With any more, Max, and we're going to have to kick you off. Their fullback, I tell you what, he was touching people.
Where's the mute?
I'll tell you what people did not expect, right? When we say we've got Maxwell on this podcast, what they didn't expect was he's gone to his head and he's come out full fire, but he's gone full Jimmy Dean.
We said I was the woke one.
Yeah. Look, alright, just because you three don't have access to a thesaurus.
The intellect guy. Basically what he said is, you may laugh at me, I'm more intelligent than you. I've got my degree to prove it.
Yeah, but no. Maybe a different word, but he is completely correct. It was. But for as much as we're saying how bad we were, they were very good. Let's say not they were awesome, I thought.
And there's a reason to say that.
I mean,
any other season, they absolutely run away with that league.
100%.
And they've still probably finished with 100 points this season, by the way. And don't go
97 as a cliff.
The only consolation for them fans at this time will be, I am 90% certain they will win the playoffs. I know it's a lottery, and I know it never, it doesn't always work out like that. But come on, every time they play, they're unbelievable.
And I think Notts County and Wrexham, they've still got each other to play. Notts County were my prediction to win the league at the start of this season. I caught a lot of flack, but I've still got hope. It's the proof that there needs to be 3 up from the National League. I think. You look at I think it was us last season. You look at some of the absolute guff that's at the bottom end of the league too. And if we're in a situation where we're thinking, we know Notts County aren't just going to get 100 points; they're going to get 105.
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm just looking at league table here. They're already on 94, and they've got 6 games to play. So they're going to get the 100 at least, as you say. And this is the more amazing thing. They're 23 points ahead of Woking in 3rd place.
That's nearly 8 wins.
Okay.
Have we got 8 wins?
Have we got
8 wins?
I can tell you that. We've won 8.
There you go.
So how many points have Mason got who are playing?
Yeah, so Mason are on 24 points.
24 points, okay. Yeah. So in order for Woking to catch Notts County, they have to take every point that another team has got.
I don't think it works. I don't think you can transfer. I don't think Maidstone go, do you know what, we're down, we'll give you our points anyway. We really hate Wrexham that much that you can have our points.
Well, they've had the haters, haven't they?
Well, listen, I mean, whilst we're on the topic of that league, Gareth, I'll pick your brain first of all. Ben Foster to Wrexham, where did that come from?
Massive, isn't it? Ultimately,
it's outrageous.
When you're getting that type of goalkeeper coming in to not leave, whatever money they're on, regardless of the money. That's just a huge statement of intent for Wrexham.
And I think that the thing is for me as well, it's not as if, you know, it's not as if they had 4 keepers out injured, or it's not as if, you know, they didn't have good keepers already.
Mark
So
Howard.
Mark Howard.
Robbie Watson.
Yeah, he's
Scunthorpe's player of the season.
Leave it out,
I'm just saying.
Right. Are we gonna
I'll die on this hill.
Are we gonna start? hang on. Are you pro Watson or anti Watson?
Oh, so Team Watson. It's
Okay,
unbelievable.
good. Right, so we'll gang up on these two.
No, but
I'm not anti-Watson. I just think this
Between
illusion
Howard
that
and
he's
Watson.
level on Mark Howard. Is
yeah, between
crazy
Howard and
talk.
Watson, we needed the experience. I do think Watson will be a great keeper. I really do, because his shot stopping.
For those who aren't Scunthorpe
yeah.
fans, both those keepers were at Scunthorpe,
Yeah.
and we kind of brought Howard in, didn't we, in the January transfer window?
I think,
and that season we finished third from bottom. And it's my opinion. I do think we'd have gone down that season.
Him and
if we'd have
Karacham
stuck with
saved that season, without a doubt. Howard and Karacham, that leadership, obviously both towards the end of the career, without those signings, would have comfortably done that.
Just coming back then to Ben Foster at Wrexham. I was listening on the radio on Friday. I won't mention the channel, but it was his claim was he hadn't been offered. Well, what he referred to the amount was peanuts. I mean, that's, to be honest, that's offensive. To me as a football fan, I'm offended by Ben Foster saying, "Oh, what I'm getting at Wrexham's peanuts."
Woke culture, Andy will get offended by anything.
Triggered.
No, I don't believe that. First of all, it's an insult to intelligence because we all know Wrexham are paying over the odds, right?
Pay money.
Of course they are. I mean, and also, put a bit on my soapbox a bit, but to say it's peanuts.
Yeah, I disagree. I think, obviously, I am a massive fan of Ben Foster's podcast, and when
It's not as good as this one.
no, obviously not. Well, it's still got time. It's still got time. But when I sit back, I think when he says peanuts, he's sort of saying travel.
Yeah.
Obviously, he got a mega offer from Newcastle at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Mega money, which he didn't even think he'd get, which just shows he's not about the money. I literally think it is just travel. Let's be honest, he's using that as cover for his podcast.
Yeah,
He's going to get McElhenney on, and it's going to boost him up even more, which is great.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti-Wrexham,
Yeah.
but I would rather not Sky because it's more for the love of football rather than money. But I've got nothing against what Wrexham are doing. And
Also,
it's great.
Yeah, let's not pretend that Notts County haven't spent money as well. And,
No.
But they haven't spent Wrexham money.
No, of course they haven't. Yeah.
And the reason that, I mean...
Well, listen, Sunderland haven't spent Wrexham money. Do you know what I mean? But Wrexham money is Wrexham money.
No, and also, Notts County, theoretically, they're a big fish at this level. What was the crowd? It was 16,000 at the weekend.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Sorry to pick on an Italian comrade, but there are sides in Serie A that don't get 16,000.
With worse stadiums.
Sorry,
I went
there
to
were sides in Serie A,
comfortable.
other than Juventus.
Well, there's Cagliari. I say that there's not Serie B, but the stadium is better than Serie A. Non-league now is becoming so much better than I think people realise.
It should be the fifth team.
But yeah, like you said, it's 16,000 mad number. And Saturday was great, and it was a good half of football. It was a great atmosphere.
Let's just move the conversation on a bit then. So we're looking at, again, I've got the league table here. 5 points from safety. There's 7 to play for us. I think, if I'm being really optimistic, I think we need 4 wins.
That's not enough.
Yeah, most people I think would say 5.
Yeah, correct.
I think if you win 4, you've got a sniff.
I do. I think 4 and a draw. And well, it depends where that 4th is. I'm telling you now.
I'll tell you what. Let's be like really optimistic here, and let's say we only need 4. Let's just go on that for now.
That'd be amazing.
Where are these 4 wins coming from? So at York tomorrow, today when this comes out. It's an absolute must-win. We know that. Well, you don't think it's a must-win?
I disagree. Obviously, it's massive, but they are only. Is it 4 points off themselves?
Yes.
Yes, do or die for them as well.
5 points off, but they're 9 from us.
If we can sneak a win to it, amazing. But if it's a point, I really don't think it's the end of the world.
Right.
I think we get 3 against Torquay, 100%.
I think I'll tell you what I think we could all agree on. If we lose tomorrow, it's over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and look, if they got 4 points from the next two, that would be an okay return because
Yeah, this is my argument.
If you get they've got 7 left. 2 points a game average between now and the end of the season, it'd be 14 points from those 7, and that might be enough. So if it was win draw until the end of the season, then fair call. I mean,
I'll tell you,
it's not going to be.
If that happens, we're on the centre circle doing this podcast, aren't we?
God, I'm doing shots out of Gareth's belly button.
I'm gonna try.
That is in the IronArmy episode.
Yeah,
everyone wants.
More than happy to do that.
Well, I feel like because I dare say a few people listening to this or watching this follow me on Twitter. And
I'm not sure.
Very few.
Well, there's probably a few more have muted me on Twitter as well. But the topical.
We're not going down that route. We promised we wouldn't do this.
But I sadly correctly predicted the fact that we would be 2-0 down against Notts County after 10 minutes. Really? So it's not. Yeah.
Well done.
We
got his medal. Or well done, mate.
I treated myself to a pint of Coke and a slice of lemon.
All the soft drinks out there.
So I'm hoping. Well, they're not because he wanted the Pepsi and they didn't have it.
Gareth, IronArmy is the only person in the world that goes up to the bar and says, "Can I have a Coke? No, can I have a Pepsi?" And they say,
Max.
I'd quite like to find. I'd quite like to find out if anybody else is the same as that on our comments.
He's the only person that goes up to the bar and says, "Can I have a Pepsi?" And they say, "Is Coco?"
He doesn't know. Then he gets spat at.
So I'm hoping that Marco's prediction of was taking it down to Dorking on the last game of the season, doing shots off Gareth's belly button, I
Gareth, I mean, I don't want to press you, but are you game for that? If we stay up, would you let Gareth? Would you let Marco do shots?
It just sounds like a Tuesday.
That's a Saturday dog.
That's what it is. Look, I'm never going out. I'll see what Bill's doing.
He's just saying that so Melissa's being
it was awful.
Again, we're just going to move the conversation on to our
Swiftly.
our next segment, and then our next segment is we're going to do a little bit of a quick fire round. So the three other members of the panel, so Max, Marco, and Gareth. We've got 3 different categories. We've got Hero of the Week, Idiot of the Week, and Moment of the Week. I'll give out points, so 1 point for each. We're going to kick off with you, Max. Who's your hero of the week and why?
Harry Kane. I don't care what anybody says. I know he gets grief. I thought he was.
So just laughing at Marco over there, the Italian in the corner. He's not quite taking
this is a man who, after Italy beat England on penalties, was thrown out of his own house for being insufferable.
Well, I'm going to have to stop you there, Max, because unfortunately what's happened is you've timed yourself out by slagging off Marco. So very unlikely you'll get the points at this point.
I regret nothing.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to move this on, Max. Over to Marco.
I'm going to take Max's time, because mine takes a little bit of time again. My hero of the week was a lady named Debbie. And I'll tell you why.
Hang on, where's this going?
Who's
well, in Hoover, I'm joking.
No. Did she have a cracking personality?
You've got 10 seconds.
Honestly, well, I got into bed. I could stop talking about it was Debbie. Right, I'm going, who's Debbie? I went, this lady on the train. I thought she was I said
Gareth's wife is called Debbie.
Max is blocking.
I hope this is a different Debbie.
Quickly, 5 seconds.
Anyway, also really quick, normalise cheese boards at footballs on trains. Debbie, love you. Battle class.
She's looked after your away day.
Honestly, we'd all had a little bit to drink, and these girls just had a full spread of cheese, and I think
I wondered where that sentence was going.
Honestly, this stigma of lads not bringing cheese boards onto away games, it needs to be honestly.
So Marco's point is we need to destigmatise cheese boards.
On trains for football lads.
Was he wanting to slide in a bit of his Italian salami?
That's
disgusting. Max is very close to a sending off. Yeah, for me,
I think that's a 1 pod ban.
100%. Yeah.
conversation. Okay, so hero of the week. I'm going to award the points on that one to Marco.
Well, not to me.
To Debbie. Debbie gets the points.
To Debbie. She's there somewhere with my Gouda.
I think it's Howler.
Oh, is it Howler?
Yeah, it
no,
definitely
not
is.
in my house.
It is, it's
Gouda.
I genuinely don't know actually.
I don't want to come across here on Ponzi, but it's definitely Howler.
It's not Howler. It's
I'm
not
Dutch
Pinner,
listeners
it's
are fuming
Keegan.
right now. There's clogs everywhere.
Steve McClaren sat over here.
Steve McClaren. It was
So that's legends.
Right, idiot of the week. Next category, points available. I'll kick off this time with Marco.
The champ. So, I'm not going idiot, I'm going idiots. And I don't know if anybody saw this, because I think it was the same day as the England game.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm watching England. To make the Denmark national team.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone saw this. 2-0 up, 73rd minute, absolutely cruising against the 79th ranked team in the world, Kazakhstan.
Very
I
nice!
know you're only thinking
Very nice!
because of Barra, and yeah, he scored for the agent's got Kazakhstan turned the game around 3-2 against the 10th ranked Denmark, which I think is nuts. Kasper Schmeichel in the mud.
Did you see the equaliser though? It was an anybody who hasn't watched Kazakhstan second, it was an absolute screamer.
You need to watch Kasper Schmeichel because he has gone downhill considerably.
The moment for me was when the Kazakhstan striker took his shirt off and he had that mankini. Who knew?
That's their away shirt. How dare you?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's my idiot away. I mean, I can't laugh in national football to spot Italy, but fantastic.
Great. Is that it? No one else? Moving on, swiftly on.
Yeah, it's me.
Idiot of the week. Max, who's your idiot of the week?
So, if anybody asks, do you bird budgies, Max? The correct answer is yes. Because my idiot of the week is Peter Swan.
Jamie Morgan sat at home listening to this going, it's over, he's gone, we've given him a platform. We've done this.
Because when I was stood there at Notts County and I'm thinking, right, we're getting beat 4-0 and it could be 4-2. It's not actually getting spanked by Notts County that's going to fuck our season. It's not that game.
That's what's going on the over 18 session.
You can bleep that bit.
That's nice. What?
That's it's not that game that's gonna get us relegated if we do get relegated, and I still hope not. It's going to be the first half of the season. It's everything that happened until the third week of January when we were finally sold. If we'd been sold 2 months earlier, not even 4 months, not even in the summer, just an extra 8 weeks, we could have kept Lavery, we would have had extra time to sort out our recruitment better, we would have had bums on seats.
Do you think he knew this? Do you think that was part of it?
Can I just remind you, this is a quick fire?
I'm quite interested. No, do you think he knew this? Because I think he did.
I think that he was prepared to take the risk.
Yeah.
I think he must have known, because he'll have seen on the table what was happening to the club, but didn't sell quickly enough.
And do you know what I think? I think Max has only picked Peter Swan because I don't know if people noticed, but he was on a stadium ban this man.
Get away.
Yeah, it is true.
So
and
did you hear this one?
apparently, last week, so I haven't seen it on Twitter, and Max certainly hasn't mentioned it to me 10 times, but I do think your book's now in the club shop, is it? And again, is that another reason?
Very reasonably priced.
Happy ending times.
And not only that, but if you go in the club shop, the copies aren't signed. And I think unsigned copies are rarer and valuable than signed.
I would definitely say so.
Yeah.
And the ones that haven't been chucked into the waste are probably.
I don't get any more money if you actually read them. Do with them what you want. If you're short on toilet paper, go and buy the book.
I can. Yeah, the great.
IronArmy.
Yeah.
Gareth, idiot of the week.
Idiot of the week, FA. And Lubricus. Contract, sickness contract. For non-league.
Outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah. 12 weeks, full pay if you've got an injury. And then statutory sick pay. What's that, £99?
It is, yeah.
You can't live on that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You need these players. They're going to stop going for tackles.
No,
going for
absolutely.
headers, and it's just
100% right. I think the thing that really annoyed me, and I saw it. I think was it Jack Muldoon who was kind of taking umbrage with it on Twitter. And people, the comments were so anti
Yeah,
the players. And I was like,
yeah.
we'll get
I've
this.
seen that on Twitter.
It's ridiculous.
Sometimes.
You know, they've got, and to be honest, I'm not exaggerating it. They do put their bodies on the line for our entertainment.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about they get paid a lot. We're talking about non-league players.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Premier League players here. We're
Obviously
talking
not.
about,
Well, Muldoon's not even League Two, and if he can't obviously sustain that.
Yeah. No, it's really nice.
well,
But just before you awarded it a week, I would like to make a second of it a week.
Whoa.
And I think this one.
I'm not sure if I can allow it.
Yeah, I think this one will win it. So obviously we've got York City.
Honestly,
right?
typical Italian.
Yeah,
Always cheating. Always cheating.
I don't know where this is going.
I've got Saka back.
Because I did know your answers, but Marco never told me about
well,
this.
the equivalent to Chiellini and Saka, I'm just bringing it back.
Right. I'm a little bit
Like that.
concerned here.
Yeah, because Barra's off to York tomorrow,
Oh, God.
and he hasn't told Kat yet. So she's finding out of this podcast, and he's got to let her know. But don't worry, Kat, you look after kids. I'm off. See you in a bit.
So just like to say,
So the next podcast will be single back.
there's no way this is going out. Andy simply won't. I'd just like to say, if you hear of like any sort of murderous screams on the streets of Gouda,
Yeah, it's quite common.
It may be Andy getting murdered by his two ladies.
Marco, what are you doing to me?
Well, never stepping foot in goal again. That's for sure. Right, let's
So,
go.
I can tell you who's not getting the points for that.
Hang on, hasn't he given you a lift here?
Yeah, I can walk.
The points almost
Garage
certainly.
tractor will take me home. I'll be easy.
Stop playing for time. Points definitely go to Gareth for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Agreed.
Moment of the week, last category on this. It was meant to be a quick fire round, but we're doing our best to string this one out. Moment of the week, Gareth, you hit us first.
Luke Williams on the sideline.
Yeah.
Last county game.
No more said. What was it?
Just a touch outside of the foot.
Yeah.
It comes off, gets booted out, comes off oval. And it's just his touch. Flicks his foot. It round to the front and just
Can we
knocks it.
think he's eligible to play? Or
I was saying when he did it, I'm thinking get in.
Absolutely.
Marco, straight
To
to you.
me, before and after the game, started with a great day, multiple moments, and like Matt said, we weren't even going on a football team before. So for us to actually get these memories, I know we got spanked, but it was still a great day. Hopefully we can stay for that more.
Max?
Honestly, getting home on Saturday before the football
Sounds good.
before the game on Saturday, I actually went and watched my got a brother who was only 13 and he was playing hockey for his school in Worksop, which is on the way to Notts County. So it worked out brilliantly. His team lost 6-0, and as if then that wasn't bad enough, I had to then go and watch Scunthorpe lose 4-0. Didn't even get to see a goal. Yeah. Saturday's best forgotten. We've never won at Notts County, and I don't think we ever will.
Well, I can't give the points to either Marco or Max because the answers were basically identical. So I'm going to give the points again to Gareth, which means going into the rounds later on, the quiz rounds, Gareth has a 2-1 lead over Marco, and Max sitting bottom of the leaderboard with no points.
No point.
Well, our next segment is brought to you actually by Iron Stats, and they've provided a few statistics for us for our next segment. So I'll give you the first one. Okay. I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, bearing in mind our next game is on a Tuesday night.
Right.
Okay. So the Iron have won. The Iron haven't won any of their last 36 away games played on a Saturday. So last 36 times they played on a Saturday.
Did you say 36?
The last 36 games played on a Saturday away from home we have not won. This is a run going back to November 2020. That's 9 draws and 27 defeats.
That's over a season and a half's worth of away games.
Consistent. Their last 7 away wins have been played on a day other than Saturday. 4 on a Tuesday, 1 on a Wednesday. That Halifax game got all
Sorry, hang on.
a Friday and a Sunday.
Did you say our 7 away wins have been on not a Saturday?
This is what Iron Stats tells
How
us.
far is that going back?
We
Because our away record is pretty turgid.
November 2020.
We love a Friday.
Yeah.
We absolutely
Do you know
love
what I
a
love?
Friday.
Well, the Halifax game was on a Wednesday, wasn't it?
Can I just, while we're talking about that
Away day
Halifax
memories.
game, well, no, can I just say, being a man who lives in Gouda, Cam Wilson, I love you.
Oh, here we go.
Cameron Wilson, I adore you.
Yeah.
Right?
Creepy.
What a player he is. And Jimmy Dean, if this does get as far as Jimmy Dean, your man, he's got form. Cam Wilson has got form in Yorkshire midweek. He wins games. He does it, mate. Under them floodlights in Yorkshire. This is what I'm saying.
Can't get him all York.
Jimmy, if you're 50-50 about whether to start, if you're thinking you're on the bus now on the way up to York, and you're thinking
Definitely not on the bus. Oh yeah, we'll be on Tuesday.
Do I start Cam? You do, mate. You know why? It's midweek and it's Yorkshire. He does the business.
There we go.
Anyone disputing that? No. We move on. The Irons. Oh, actually, I just want to say that the Halifax game. After the game, once he got man of the match, he scored the winner. Cam Wilson comes over and his family are there, and well done, Cam. It's just me on BT Sport getting picked up going, Cam! I love you, Cam! Cam, you're amazing! He's going, I don't know that guy. His mum's like ushering me out of the way, like, can I see my son now? Right, next stat then. So, the Irons' average home attendance this season is... The Irons? Yeah, sorry. Well,
do you know how apostrophe?
Yeah, I was going to say, Marco.
That
is grammatically correct. It is grammatically correct. The Irons' average home
Don't
attendance.
mess with the
this
bees,
season-
massive salary.
So the average home attendance this season has been 3,228.
Brilliant
That's
support.
the seventh highest in the league. Now, just to compare the figures, so pre-takeover, 3,083 was our average. Post-takeover, 3,665. So basically, David Hilton has put 4 to 500 on the game every home game. That's what's happened. Statistically, that's what's happened. Okay, and our average away attendance this season is 311. We don't have any comparisons with the rest of the league. But I mean, that's incredible. But also, kind of goes to back up what a lot of fans were saying. I will come back when this one's gone. Well, they have. Nearly 500 a game. Yeah. You can't, it's there in black and white.
Well, so 1,750 away at Notts County.
Incredible.
When we've won one away game in 15 months, and even that night, Halifax were awful.
Well,
like that's crazy support.
Yeah.
Was it the second highest in the whole country this weekend?
It was, yeah. Was it Derby?
Yes, it was Derby. Yes, away at Peterborough.
And Iron Stats also inform us that that's the Irons' highest away attendance since September 2017, when we took 1,898 to Doncaster.
Yeah. I also believe that correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm also sure the total attendance, like 16,000, whatever it was the second highest in English club football. Only Portsmouth, of all the games in League One, was higher than what was on offer in Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant support, absolutely crazy.
And a good day.
Oh, and another stat here, how convenient. I didn't ask for this, but just to know, Cam Wilson has been involved in 6 of the Irons' last 18 goals. That's 5 goals and 1 assist, so Cam, keep it up, mate. I think since David Hilton took over and Jimmy Dean came in as manager, we've had quite a lot of new faces, a lot of signings, a lot of ins, a lot of outs. I forget that figure, but Iron Stats did tell me as well. I think it's 42 players were fielded this season at various points, so that's a lot. Yeah, that's the second highest, the highest being last season, and I think we're only one behind that, so there is every chance we could stop that. But what do we make of the new signings? Who jumps out to you?
I mean, as soon as we signed Harry Thompson, everybody was just. Well, I feel like everybody does this. As soon as a new signing comes in, everybody goes to that club's Twitter or Facebook and finds out how annoyed they are that he's gone. Yeah. Because normally, especially with our signings recently, it's been like good riddance, absolute torture, awful. But like when we signed Thompson, everyone was like, oh, it's way too good for him. What's he doing there? He played in the Champions League. So we're automatically, before he's even kicked the ball, we're like, we're staying up. This guy's going to keep us up. But, I mean, on Saturday we didn't get to see that because I don't think it's well. I don't think we did. No. But, great signing on paper. Let's hope we can do it on the grass then.
And Gareth, what do you think of the keeper situation at the minute? So, obviously, we brought Chapman in, which I think we all agreed at the time was the right thing. He was an experienced keeper, a big keeper.
Definitely.
Now, what happens is he obviously picked up that injury last week. And we brought in Bilson. Now, the interesting thing about this is he's only played 1 or 2 more senior games than Foster, and age-wise quite similar as well. So it's not like he's got a lot on him in terms of age and experience. What's your thoughts on that?
I just think on that scenario, we should put Foster in that. I know we've not got a backup keeper as such,
Yeah.
but we don't sometimes have one on the bench anyway.
No, I think you still bring Wilson in, but he maybe doesn't start for me.
Yeah, but I just think Foster would give him the experience.
I think so.
We're on a hiding something there.
Yeah,
not
exactly, and that is the point.
And he did make one brilliant
He did,
save in
onto
the
the
second
bar,
half.
yeah,
That tipped onto the bar.
Yeah.
Although I will admit his kicking was.
Oh, his kicking was atrocious.
Yeah.
There's no beating around.
Well, I have to defend goalkeepers kicking here. So
Yeah.
my lad obviously plays in the academy.
You saying his kicking's crap as well?
I mean, his kicking isn't the best, but you're not. All right, it helps if you can clear the halfway line, but you're not there to kick a ball, right? Your job, first and foremost, is to keep the ball out the back of the net. I hate it when people say about keepers, "Oh yeah, but he's a great shot stopper." Well, thank God for that, because that's a
It's Roy Keane here. That's just a fancy way of saying, well, that's his job, isn't it?
That is his job. It's a prerequisite of being a goalkeeper.
But so
okay?
it wasn't just the distance that annoyed me about Wilson's kicking.
It's the fact you can get it off the ground.
Yeah, it's the fact that I lost track of how many went out of play.
Yeah.
You know, we were so struggling for possession that immediately handing it back to Ross County.
Yeah.
Just felt doubly frustrated.
Well, there's some goalkeepers union here.
Yeah.
I'm trying not.
And I get that.
It's one game.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
anti-Wilson,
totally.
yeah.
I'm not anti-Wilson either.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, would that have been, after all this time, would that have been good for Forster to chuck him there,
yeah.
concede 4, his confidence would be shot?
That's the other side of the coin.
Not for me. Wilson can take the, not necessarily the blame, but the hit. Let's preach.
I get that, right? But then who plays tomorrow at York? Because now, presumably, he's got to go with Wilson.
Well, Chapman's for the season is.
Yeah, but we're not discounting Foster yet, and there's still a possibility that he might have looked at what's happened on Saturday.
I think Foster's brilliant. I think it's what Wilson in physicality. Obviously, he's quite a big lad.
It's built bigger, yeah.
In non-league, Foster, he could easily be bullied out from corners.
But he doesn't.
I know he doesn't, yes, but what I'm saying is he could be there to be exploited. We've got quite a tall team now, quite physical.
Yeah.
You get Ben Richards, Everton around him, everything, but it's a toss of the coin.
It's not even a question of that. It's not even a question of that for me. For me, it's about psychology. So if you drop Wilson after that, you're highlighting him as the scapegoat, and he could have done the square root of bugger all about them 4 goals.
Yeah.
He made one great save. Yeah. So on that basis, I think you've got to stick with him.
I think it's a toss of the coin. I don't think one's better than the other. Yeah. I really don't.
Just moving on then to the manager, the new manager, Jimmy Dean. I'm still calling him the new manager. What's our verdicts on him at this point? I'll be honest, I rate him a lot. Some of the interviews he's done, I think he's great. He's fantastic.
He's just straight to the point.
Yeah.
He tells it as it is.
You know, I think you've got a bit of bromance with him. Seeing some of the videos. I don't. Listen, I'm not digging you out here, but
didn't he play?
Little shots.
Yeah, when they're doing the.
I don't think it was for me.
Well, he looks straight at your camera. He's like, this is all for you, Gareth.
Like a Taylor Swift video.
I wasn't even going to mention that. What I was going to say was, didn't he play one of your vlogs to the players?
Listen,
their analysis.
That is Churchillian. That is, if ever there's a team that's like, listen, lads.
That was before the Wrexham.
Yeah.
Away at Wrexham.
And to be fair, they played all right at Wrexham.
Yeah, they did.
Correlation isn't necessarily causation, but I think you can take credit for a couple of our performances. I love him. I mean, that interview we did, I don't know who, it might have been, maybe it was on Humberside, I don't know, but where he's like, nah, listen Ollie mate, get the away fans in the corner, get him in their corner. Hang on, now Ollie mate, what, I love him.
The thing for me,
What is that?
that's
where he's from.
Is he actually secretly from Yeovil? He's been on a tractor farm all these years. I mean, yeah, mate.
Yeah, that's what he said, yeah.
That's
Ollie mate.
Yeah. But honestly, the thing I love about Jim, he's just so relatable.
Yeah.
And it's nice for us to have someone, like we know, I don't know if we have with previous managers, when they got, like for Saturday example, you know they got it.
Yeah.
You know they got it. And I think for somebody on the sidelines to, it's sort of an extension of us.
Yeah, I think so.
And he really does. And I know it's one thing, obviously, you say about his tactics, and he hasn't always got it right. Definitely, for sure. I mean, we can see like
He's
Saturday.
taken a
But
step
what I'm saying,
up.
one
He's
thing,
done
yes,
well,
exactly.
isn't he?
And I think go down or stay up is definitely a mouth in the trap.
And also, to be honest, I'm not necessarily. We could have had any tactical setup on Saturday, and we were still getting beat by a Notts County side who were really at
I
it.
think the tactical setup we had was just conserve energy for Tuesday night.
Yeah, and
Basically.
listen, and I suppose the only shame of that is it's all well and good saying it's a free hit, but we need every point we can take.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, on Jimmy D, I think, like you say, Marco, I think he gets us as fans, and long may it continue. Let's hope we can kind of get a few results, pick a few up between now and, well, I think 3 games time. I think if we could get 2 wins out of the next 3, we're back in it, aren't we?
Playing away on a Tuesday and a Friday.
Yeah.
We'd love it.
Right, we're going to move on then to the quiz section. So going into this round, there's the last chance to get points. Obviously, Gareth is 2-1 up and Max at the bottom of the leaderboard there. So the first question is for Marco. So this is your chance to pull level, Marco.
Yeah.
In 2011, which Chelsea star, inverted commas here, accidentally shot a student with an air rifle who claimed he didn't know was loaded? I should just probably say this is a ridiculous quiz. And I had great fun finding the answers out to these. So it's a quick fire round. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Chuck me a name, Chelsea star, 2011. Just chuck a name out there.
Bossingwa.
It wasn't.
Can we buzz in?
You can have a point.
This as well.
I wonder if you know.
Okay, I'm not totally sure I am, but I'm just thinking like, what Chelsea player would be?
Who takes the gun?
What Chelsea player?
Just clicked.
Is it
Right, do you know what? Should we give him it? If you can give.
It's not Diego Costa.
It's not.
John Terry?
Gareth, do you know?
Ashley Cole.
It is unfortunately no points there.
Thinking
so-
Chelsea left.
Right, the next, and you're going to love this one. This is for Max. Okay, so Wayne Rooney was caught drink driving and driving without insurance, driving a letting agent's car. Laura Simpson, her name was, back in 2017. What was the model of the car that he was driving when he was caught?
Shouldn't know.
You know this.
I do know.
Yeah, I mean,
I do.
I'll tell you why.
So hang on, so you said it's a model, so you just want in the car company, you're not wanting the specific.
We want the number plate.
No, I don't just want the make out of the model. I.e. Ford Cougar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not Ford Cougar.
That sounds like Rooney, but we're Cougar. It'd be quite funny.
Stop the podcast. We're done. I'd just like to say. Okay, so on that basis, then I'll guess Range Rover.
No, Gareth, you know.
Was it a Volkswagen Beetle?
It was a Volkswagen Beetle, and I'll tell you what was amazing. Twitter for the next 3-4 months was just filled with Herbie memes. It was just taking absolute pelters for months. So, question for you then, Gareth. It's a tough one, this. Which former Crystal Palace player had a clause inserted into his contract which meant he was fined 10% of his wages anytime his weight exceeded 99.8 kilograms, which by the way is still massive. Absolutely colossal.
Why 0.8? Like, surely, what have you got?
Well,
99.9 kilograms.
Really little leeway. Yeah, Crystal Palace.
Just think of a fat Crystal Palace.
Late in the career.
What year?
I don't know the year. I mean, you might speculate. Late in the career.
I think he played for Crystal Palace. It was fast. I think about this now. I genuinely don't know. Edgar Davids, did he play for Crystal Palace?
He did play for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Against Scunthorpe.
They're very skinny.
And weirdly, also played that game. Edgar Davids played left back against Scunthorpe. Edgar Davids
Jonathan Fort scored twice against him.
I'll still get that photo.
No, so
Can I have a guess?
Yeah.
Because I have got a fat Crystal Palace player in mind.
yeah.
It's a few years ago. Neil Shipley?
No, but when you said Neil, I thought you were going to get it. It was
Neil
Razor Ruddock.
Davids.
Razor Ruddock.
Was he at Palace?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Chelsea
thought he was
beat
at Palace. Because I think the Ruddock is like, he was at Southampton, he was at Liverpool, he was at West Ham.
And he's not fighting on. That's slow.
No.
Yeah. Good to see that.
Right, I'm going to give you no, again, Gareth just won quite convincingly, I must say. I'd say convincingly 2-1, but you guys were shut out going into the last session.
If we win 2-1 against yours,
convincingly. Right, but true or false, and no points up for grabs here, if anyone does know this or wants to have a guess. Right, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, David Beckham and Nicky Butt, along with several other Manchester United youngsters, starred in a version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at Christmas time as part of a hazing ritual in front of the team squad.
I'm going true. That sounds
true. That sounds exactly like the kind of thing you get away with on a Christmas night out in 1992.
It was wanting to dress up.
Just plays the Wicked Witch.
I'll think of it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, but it hasn't been divulged who played Snow White or Dopey, but I presume. Beckham, got to be Beckham on it, Dopey. He took all the pelters, didn't he? So we're kind of moving towards the end of the podcast. Just a couple of other topics aside from Scunthorpe United. I think we've covered quite a few anyway, but. I think, was there a game on Thursday night? Did England play somebody on Thursday, Gareth? Do you remember?
I don't know if we did, but whoever we played, they can't be very good.
I have a feeling we might. Marco, do you know who England played on Thursday?
Not off the top.
Okay, well I do know.
Somebody who switched side.
I'm being silent here. Gary Lineker. I'm being silent.
You're very political and a bit nasty tonight, Max.
You played the European champion. You know it.
It's amazing. So they've gone to Naples, England, and they've rolled over the European champions in Italy. And do you know what? We've even thought last 10 minutes. God, Italy haven't had a sniff here. We'll take a man off. We'll give you a man advantage. See if you can get us. And still.
And actually, in the concourse before the game, I was speaking to some Scully fans.
Sorry, you was at Naples?
No, I wasn't. In the concourse at North County.
Just casually driving.
That's good.
It would have been all over Twitter.
No, that's true.
No, I was speaking to some Scully fans at North County who were in Naples, and they were saying that it was brilliant. They were saying the only issue, unsurprisingly, was some of the policing was rather heavy-handed, but that doesn't shock anybody.
I would not like to comment on such things.
But that game being in Naples wasn't a coincidence.
Yeah.
They have done that purely for the sort of hostility. It's given an advantage.
And listen, that's why this is what I think Richard Dean brings to the table. Right? Get the fans in their little corner. Make Glanford Park an absolute house to come to. Make it that good.
And you've seen other clubs try and do it to us in reverse when they're swapping into before the game. And I don't care what anybody says. When you're down at the bottom, every kind of marginal game that you possibly can. And this isn't a new thing. It's I've been stood on the Donny Line for more than 20 years. If you're needing a goal, if Bromley, if we're attacking the other away end and we need a goal with 10 minutes to go, I'm not sure we get it attacking the away end.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, for me, bringing it back to England, that's something like obviously Italian. For me, England don't have that. They don't have that nastiness of, like you said,
certainly not at Wembley.
Historically, that's been true, but I thought on Thursday England found a way to win that game.
Not for me. That was just Luke Shaw.
Condition.
That was just Luke Shaw being bad at football.
No. Sorry, it's not that foul. I mean the way we managed the last 20 to 30 minutes, and Kane chucking himself about winning fouls left, right, and centre.
I feel like Kane was magnificent. Magnificent.
He was on Kane. I didn't watch it.
Speaking of Kane, I've got a hypothetical question for you guys. Okay, so if you could sign, and I saw this on Twitter earlier, actually, famous footballer's Twitter. Who's Joey Barton?
I love him.
Do you love him? Why does that not surprise me?
It
says more about you. It says more about your education system.
I think he's fantastic.
So, if you could sign one player aged 17 and keep him until 34, who would you sign? Options: Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Alan Shearer, and Michael Owen.
Harry Kane. I thought he was magnificent on Thursday night. I think he's so unselfish. He gets gypped, but he drops wide. He drops deep. You can see that he's a leader. And when we think of leadership, we think of people like Roy Keane and screamers and shouts. You don't have to be like that in any walk of life. If you're setting a great example for your teammates and you're sticking up for them, then I think Kane's had a brilliant career. You don't get to be all-time level goal scorer of Spurs and of England if you're not a brilliant footballer. And if he stays fit, fingers crossed, touch wood, I reckon he'll break Shearer's record for the number of goals.
Marco, who are you going with?
For me, I just remember when we're saying a 17-year-old, we forget Rooney was that good at 60. He was absolutely phenomenal. Wayne Rooney for me, hands down. He was so raw, explosive, and for longevity, he was brilliant. He didn't pick up that many injuries, really.
No.
I mean, neither came. Obviously, the ones we're going to talk about have, but for me, Wayne Rooney was just so exciting to watch.
I actually think as well, part of Rooney was magnificent at 17. Like, you know, so to be that young, that good, I actually think is maybe why he didn't. You know, he later dropped back into midfield.
He burnt out.
Because what made him great at 17 then made it more difficult for him at 34, 35 actually. But, you know, Rooney at Euro 2004 for England, he was only 17. He's, you know, the best...
2 goal in each Croatia.
Yeah, the best performances from an England player consistently at a major international tournament. Yeah.
Gareth, who do you go for?
Alan Shearer?
Yeah, just mixing it up a bit.
I just think wherever he's been, obviously he's coming to Scunthorpe between 17 and 34,
Yeah.
But wherever he's been, he scored goals.
Yeah.
And he's not shied away from tackles, from getting stuck in. He's just, you know, he scores with his head, his feet, long range, short range.
He was part of that iconic Euro 96 squad as well.
What I admired about Shearer as well, actually, because unlike say Kevin Rooney, he did get a couple of really bad injuries with his ankle into his knee. Sort of, I think, particularly for relatively younger supporters, we think of Shearer as a static talent, a big number 9. Right, and he reinvented his career to be like that after the injuries. You know, he had pace, he was quick, he could be a link-up man. Yeah. Shearer, you know,
I'm saying,
4 great strikers there.
The type of players we were playing against as well. You know, back in the day.
Get all over the wall.
That's true. It's all over by, you know, let's think we'll play Yapstam, Maldini, Nesta.
Don't want to chuck you under the bus, Gareth, obviously a little bit older than us, so maybe you saw him at his peak, and we were only looking back at the YouTube highlights.
I'd say chucked him under the bus.
Yeah.
I think he has something with it.
Sorry.
Well, I might have chucked him in the bus. I think you chucked him in the old peak.
Yeah, but don't worry, it's apple pie tonight. It's apple pie tonight.
Right, for the record, custard over ice cream with an apple pie every day of the week.
Max Bell bringing you the hot exclusively on Iron Hour.
Came to custard.
Where's the link?
That's the podcast.
It looks like he's running these custard. Well, in the interest of diversity, I'll have to go for Michael Owen. And for me, Michael Owen, his peak was when I was kind of like 8 to 10 years old. And I remember growing up, I remember growing up thinking, I just want to be like him. And I know now he gets ridiculed for being so dull, but he was like exciting at the time. Not his personality, I mean the way he played, that goal, against Argentina, and everything about him. Let's not forget, lads, he won a Ballon d'Or. How many of the players on that list have won a Ballon d'Or?
I think what this... Owen was a great player, particularly early on in this year. I think what discounts him from this specific question for me is that in the end his injuries got the better of him, and that is no fault of his own. Because he was exciting, he was so quick, you know, left those Argentinian defenders on the dirt. But when he had that really nasty knee injury that he just signed for Newcastle, like it cost him yards of pace, and I think that's a great shame. And I would actually, Owen's the only one on that list that I have actually met. I was at the cricket this year.
I bet that was exciting. 2 dull lads. Well, Michael Owen and Ed Miliband. Jesus. That was riveting.
But I was about to say, it was in fairness to Michael Owen, he was quite merry. He was quite merry. He'd just come out of the hospitality of the Old Trafford cricket ground, and like a couple of my mates like went straight up to him, going, "Oh, fellow Michael, nicest guy in the world." He was so drunk he couldn't walk straight, but the nicest, friendliest guy. He could have very easily gone, "Oh, sorry lads, I've got to go." And like, you know, he'd go, "Oh, he's just done that because he was drunk." He was really good. Owen went up in my estimations after that.
No, great. Before we go on to the shout-outs, then I'm probably just going to ask verdicts. Do we need to mute Max's microphone next week? Or?
It's a bit late now, lads.
It depends how much more custard.
I'm supposedly hosting this. He's outspoken me on everything. That gives a minute, mate.
Suit it up next week.
Proper ending on next week.
Has anybody got a banana?
I don't want it.
So, do the shout-outs then, I think. I'll kick us off. Infamous character in Scunthorpe United, Jason Herbert's got involved. I mean, I don't want to chuck him under the bus. I think what he's saying is he thinks it's going to be 0-0. And thank you, Jason, because he said here, not much holds his interest, but for an hour. Not much holds his interest for an hour, but he's looking forward to this, so I hope we've delivered. I doubt we have.
It's turned off 5 minutes.
Yeah. I think he's turned it. He's seen the flag go down.
Yeah.
He's seen Max picking up red cards left, right, and centre, and he's not for me.
If anybody's still on it now, fair play. Fair play.
Well done.
I think a friend of yours. Do you want to read this one out for us, Gareth?
Who, Phil Pinder?
Yeah.
Good luck. Looking forward to listening.
Okay, yeah, Phil's a good bloke. Got a lot of time for Phil.
He sits near you, does he?
Sits just over my right shoulder on the vlogs. I didn't know Dragon's Den.
Yes, absolutely.
Speaking of chuck, didn't you chuck him under the bus on Twitter with a picture you saying for interest? Phil is the one on the
Oh,
left.
yeah. The gargoyle.
Yes. Actually, ironically, Tuesday today, when this is going out, is a really big game for Phil because he lives in York, and if you're ever in York, he's got a couple of sort of like wizard themed shops. Definitely, if you're ever in York on a day out, or if you're there tonight, check out Phil's shops.
Yeah.
You've got Max Bell's endorsement. I don't know if that's.
I can. They are good shops. I've been to a couple.
Have you?
Yeah.
You like the Wizards?
I do like the Wizards.
Bit of a wizard sleep over there.
I think my endorsement probably counts for more in York than it does in Scunny.
Well, that's yes.
Fewer people know me there.
Well, if you're bearing away there tomorrow, anything, the pubs are a bit boring. Fancy a bit of magic.
And including one of Phil's shops is in the York train station. So if you're passing,
Okay, this isn't the Phil Pinder podcast.
He's my favourite.
Is he on commission? What's going on? This isn't Dragon's Den.
Well,
is it not?
No.
I've always wanted to be Deborah Milligan.
Well, that's a different We'll leave that there.
John G's got in touch and he says 1-0 to Scunny, say it every week, but it must win. And there's a lot of positivity for Scunny here.
Yeah.
We've got Joe Jordan, 3-1 Iron, Jack Evans, mate of ours, 1-0 Scunny. Scunny Ben, I don't think that's his real name, 2-1 to the Iron. I think this is incredible because when I looked at Twitter on Sunday night, okay, I saw a fan, I won't mention him, and they said, not having this, who wants my ticket for the York game? I'm not going. You can have it for a tenner. I thought, well, fair play. Right. Anyway, the same fan, Sunday night, has anyone got any spare tickets? I'm back on the train.
Well, there are now. They've opened the overflow stand at York down side, so I got an extra 4 tickets this afternoon.
Football's the only thing that does that, isn't it?
we're crazy.
We're
absolutely crazy.
You're beside yourself on Saturday
Yeah.
night. Come Sunday night, I think
Yeah.
I fancy us to go to York and win 4-0.
Yeah.
We're definitely not winning 4-0.
Well, Mike says he thinks we'll bounce back with a 2-1 win up the bloody Iron. Don't know, I'm very Alan Partridge. Up the bloody Iron!
It's great banter, it really is.
I'll tell you what, there's been a couple of Partridge moments. I mean, that Jimmy Dean impression was not right. In hindsight, I probably let myself down a bit.
Max that he turned off.
Yeah. If he carried on for just a couple more minutes, he would have seen that it was positive. It wasn't negative. Gary Butcher, Mark, we'll leave it out, mate. Gary Butcher says 2-1 Scunny. He's got a feeling about York, and it's not very often he gets this feeling. Well, I think we all get this feeling every single game.
Sold.
But he's expecting a nervous last 10 minutes. Chris Watke, I don't know if that's short for Watkins maybe, but 3-1 Scunny. Just give us something to cling on for another week.
Yeah.
Nick Adams, 3-1 Iron, but he's given us goal scorers. But Bennett and Elliott right at the death. Also, just like to say for me, this is me speaking, Barra. Danny Elliott, I really think he's a player.
He needs this goal.
He needs a goal.
As soon as this goal comes in.
I think there's a player with 30 goals did he get in the below last season.
And I also had a bit of sympathy with the lads up top against Notts County.
Yeah.
Because they were getting no service, an absolutely impossible job.
Yeah.
Shane Hines, 2-1 Scunny. Also, the next 3 games should be wins if we're serious about staying up. Minimum of 7 points.
That'd be great.
I think Shane's right. I think he's. Although I do like how. I think there's quite a lot of predictions for Scunny wins in there.
Well,
nobody thinks we're going to keep a clean sheet. It's all 2-1, 3-1.
Very realistic
We've been pro Iron so far, but for no reason at all. I think I'm going to do this next one in like a WWF announcer style. I don't know why. I'm thinking
your favourite person.
No. I just think this gentleman here will really appreciate it. So this gentleman is Jamie Sylvester, and he predicts York 2, Scunthorpe United 0.
Nice.
Unfortunately, and then he goes on to say season over.
It would be. No.
Jamie, I don't know if you're a fan of my
Yeah,
announcing
results.
style. I'm not sure, but just for you that one, mate. Flat Captain Bovril saying we're going to win at York. Jimmy Boy will have them ruthlessly fired up after yesterday, obviously Saturday's game. Expecting an unforgiving performance. Wow. What was that about clean sheets? He says a comfortable 3-0 win. Danny Elliott breaking his duck with a brace. The Great Escape is back on track. Then lose at home to Torquay.
I was about to say
That would be very good.
I've got a lot of time for Flat Caps. He's very good. I hope he's right.
Is he one of the only person who likes you, or? Is he...
I doubt it.
That's his fan.
Yeah. Steve says the Iron saunter to a 3-0 win again. Elliott smacks in 3 off the bench. What's that? I tell you what. That's some builder bet, isn't it? Damo 75 2-1 Scunny, and the last one, I guess. Do you want to read it out, Gareth, for us? It's one of our friends.
Becky.
Yeah, we've got it. Becky, thanks for listening. She's actually done bits for us on Twitter, by the way, setting us up with a high-profile person at Scunthorpe United. So thanks for that, Becky.
She says, if I don't get the first shout out on the first podcast, then it's criminal.
She got the last.
Yeah, got the last. I took Gareth right
After the first shout out, she's turned up. That's all she was.
I'm not only that, but Gareth, why wouldn't you do it first? That's really disappointing.
He said, we'll save the best for last.
That is what I said. And on that, I've got one more. No.
That's a brave man, because I know for a fact that Becky would beat all of us up.
And she had done 3.
Oh yeah, but I'd have a good go.
That's the difference.
Anyway,
I was in Liverpool.
I wasn't.
What's your score prediction, Andy, for your?
No one ever asked me what I think. Thank you.
okay.
I've just been asked.
Yeah.
The one who said no?
Who said
Oh,
it?
sorry.
I'm sit here quiet.
No, I'm quite interested to see this.
Okay. I unfortunately think it's 1-1.
I don't think it's unfortunate.
See, that's the thing with that, is that I think the few Scunny fans who did go to Maidstone when it was 1-1 with 20 minutes to go, I think that was a frustration around us, was that there was a feeling that we didn't quite throw the kitchen sink at them. If it's, I know Marco's going to disagree here, but if we're 1-1 with 10 minutes to go with York, I want to see us properly go.
Okay. The problem I have with that is.
And we did it at Solihull actually.
Now, listen, right, exactly. At Solihull, I was watching at home and I was going, so it's level with 10, 15 to go, and I'm going, we have to gamble, we have to chuck everything at this, 1 point's not enough, we're going to lose 3-1. And I genuinely, I feel bad, but the full-time whistle goes and I've gone, do you know what, a point?
Yeah, I think in that moment when you're watching that game, like you said, for example, at York, you're like, God, we have to win this. Do you know what I mean? It's a rival, same as at Solihull, we play so well, it's like, fuck, you think, but then, so when you step back after a game, you're like,
but the thing is,
I know what we're saying about York, we're a rival.
Right, should we close it then on predictions from you guys? Michael, what are you saying tomorrow?
I'll be there, it will be 2-1.
Gareth?
3-1.
Iron?
Iron, yeah.
Max?
1-0 Scunny feed.
Nice.
Repeat of Halifax.
Right, and on Max actually being positive for once, I think we'll close the podcast. Once again, this was the first ever edition of the Iron Hour podcast. That's the name we're going with for now. And for those asking, we don't know how this is going to be available in the future. We're sticking it on IronArmy. Thank you to Gareth for that. For now, we don't know how we're going to evolve with this. It might be that we go onto other platforms quite soon, but for now, it's the first episode of the Iron Hour podcast. Big thank you to Max, Marco, and of course Gareth, aka IronArmy. I've been Barra. Until next time, up the iron.
Up the iron.
A big thank you then to the Royal for letting us have our first ever podcast here. This first podcast of the Iron Hour. We're here at the back room in the Royal, and big thank you to them. This is obviously a famous pub for a lot of Scunthorpe fans, where many a match day starts, so we're absolutely privileged to be here. And drawing this podcast to a close, we'd just like to say that we want to dedicate this first podcast to the memory of Owen Newton. Scunthorpe United fan who tragically lost his life recently, age 17, after a car accident. So rest in peace, Owen, and up the iron. Our thoughts and our prayers are with all his family and friends at this time.